and welcome on in or welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Magic Bun Bun for those of you who don't know me, and as I'm sure you can tell by the title of today's video, this is a pick a card for the full moon in Virgo. So the full moon in Virgo that is happening for February 24th. So this video is coming out a little bit over a week away. That's just how my schedule lined up for this one. However, I do want to point out that on February 18th, at least in my time zone, it'll be like at night. So for some people, it could be February 19th. Pisces season. Welcome to Pisces season, okay? I do have a video already for a Pisces season community reading with some pick a card options at the end of it. That is already live on this channel before, like, it's been a week or over a week since that video. Actually, when this video goes, it'll probably be a whole week that video has been live. So if you're more interested in learning about what to expect or some information or some vibes for Pisces season, I recommend going checking out that video. Shit, if I remember, I'll link it down below, as I should be able to. I actually could also, I think, make it pop up somewhere around here, but I'm not quite sure how to do that just yet. But anyways, what I would like to focus in on, though, before we get started into this pick a card, is of course the magic circle. So for those of you who don't know, I host a magic ritual called the Magic Circle. I open it for every new and full moon. And we change up the themes depending on the moon, the energy, and the tarot card. So when I want to work with the full moon, I like to try to keep it 2 major arcana. And specifically for this full moon in Virgo, we're going to be working with that hermit energy, okay? And this is going to help with the pick a card as well, and I will explain that when I get to that point. But for those of you who are curious, we're really focusing in on self-improvement. This is the divine shadow we're working with, okay? A lot of this is going to be focused on self-love, self-improvement, clearing out blockages blockages between you and your blessings, mental fog, like right there, could really use it. Miscommunication, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so we're seeing that connection to communication, technology, keeping things very fluid and adaptable, just like Virgo is a mutable sign, so it's helping to be more flexible. And because we're dealing with a full moon, we really like to prioritize releasing things, seeing things dissolve as, you know, the moon goes from full and works its way to becoming a new moon, where then we'll like go back to the cycle of then manifesting or aligning, and that we'll touch base on that when that new moon comes up. But anyways, for this one, that's what we're doing. This group ritual also provides a group tarot reading, candle magic, a candle report, a mini sound bath, and you don't have to be present for the live reading when that happens, because I do that live here on YouTube. You can go back and watch the video at your own convenience, because I know time zones can be a bit of a hassle sometimes. So if that sounds interesting to you, please go in the description box. You can check it out. I do that all for $11.11, okay? I think that about covers it. And yeah, so if you have any questions about the magic circle or anything like that, I do have a video about that. Otherwise, you can just leave it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer for you. Just, you know, check out the Ko-fi, which is with these links right here, which I'll actually post on my screen, and other things that you can find me on my socials, so you can come hang out and chit chat. All right, so now to the pick a card. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. If you don't want to use the images, you can go right down to the description box and pick 1, 2, or 3, and it will, you know, fast forward to your reading. For those of you who would like the images, the Hermit gave me this really good idea. Is we want to use the light, because this is like a guiding light. This is the hermit energy. It's definitely someone who can be on their own, someone who is very confident in their voice, who moves away from the crowd. They are the guiding light, or they're seeking it. Okay, so we're going to be using 3 different lanterns. I'm going to have them already up. Actually, sometimes I put it there. I think I need to move over this way. I have to go this way, because this is where I normally put it. I don't know why. It usually sits here. Gotta move this guy over, but usually sits right over here. Hopefully it's here now. And I've already pre-picked, I'm trying to describe it, but pile 1, you get this like more of a metal looking brown tinted lantern right here, and pile number 2, you get this bluish green lantern right here, very colorful. And pile number 3, we have a white lantern. I'm like doing this, it's not even on the screen. It's gonna be somewhere over here. So 1, 2, and 3. So the images are right here. There should be numbers above them too to make this much easier, since I currently, as I'm recording this, there's nothing here. So I just know they're gonna be in this general area. Alright, so after, if you want to pause the video, you really want to select this, you really want to, you know, try to go with one that you're called to the most, like initially, right off the bat. And so then you go down the description box and you can fast forward to your reading unless you're pile 1, because if you're pile 1, if you're picking that one, I'll see you in just a moment, okay? Again, any questions about the magic circle, I love to explain that. Please make sure you follow me on Twitch if you would like to get free readings. I'll be doing some readings leading up to that, and on, let's see, that's on Saturday, I should actually be doing some magic circle readings, individual readings, so you can get one, you just have to use channel points. So it's a really fun time. Love to see you there if you're interested in that sort of stuff, okay? And I will see you in just a moment for your reading. Hello there, pile number 1. Alright, so if you are here, this means you chose the first lantern, or you chose number 1. You just wanted number 1 right there, okay? Alright, let me start shuffling the deck so we can find out what it is that you need to know for this full moon in Virgo. Maybe there's an area of self-improvement we really should be focusing in on, okay? And this is also to let go of perfectionism. This is also to be more adaptable to change. To realize you don't need to know everything. Okay. Also, I have a little bit of a surprise. I hope that it works. We were practicing with it on Twitch, and it worked okay, but it does do better for smaller spreads. It doesn't do the greatest for larger spreads. Actually, was it on Twitch? Yeah, it was on Twitch. And on my last magic circle. So this is first in a long time for this to actually be working. The camera I keep talking about. So let's take a peek here. Here we are. So let's hope that this works, that this isn't too busy. The cards may get cut off though on the top here to like fit. That's why I'm using a deck this size, because in theory they should all fit down here, but I think they're gonna get cut off just a little bit, so, but that's okay. Alright, we have our first card. Now you can see what's going on down here. We have the 2 of Pentacles, and then we have the Star. We got some Aquarius vibes, which while I'm recording this, it's still technically an Aquarius season. So maybe there could be maybe having a challenging time. Oh, letting things go. We have the Death card coming in here. We've got Scorpio energy. I was gonna say Aquarius and Scorpio, both fixed signs, having an issue letting certain dreams go. Dreams of a perfect world of balance as well. We have the Magician being known right here as well. Doesn't really matter that he's in reverse. He's just talking about lacking or feeling like you're lacking resources, maybe a lack of communication about what it is that you really need, that you feel like can keep your world back into balance. There could just be also a disconnect between you and the divine, like between like 2 places, 2 people, a partnership, a lack of communication that feels like you're talking to like nobody, and you feel very alone, because we have the 9 of Pentacles jumping in here, which is a 9 that represents the Hermit energy. We'll see if we'll get any more 9s in here. I just gotta make sure that you can hear me. Pull that mic a little closer. Okay, so we're gonna break this down further. Don't worry, we're just kind of taking things one at a time. We have the Tower card being shown into here. No worries with this. This is kind of like emphasizing that Death card into here, like having an issue putting something to bed, having an issue letting go, having an issue with being flexible. That Mars energy is actually, in traditional astrology, rules over both Aries and Scorpio energy. So we're more on the emotional side, the deep end of the waters, you know, trying to deal with this, trying to bring an ending to something, or wanting to see the ending or the breaking of a foundation, because you may not be feeling like you've been very successful, maybe very successful on your own. Maybe you've been wanting a lot of help and support, so you don't feel like you have a lot of resources. This is what I mean. Like, I think this top row is going to get cut off, but you know, it's fine. And then we have the Ace of Cups. And then we have another Tower card. Do not worry. I know that seems very shocking. There is 3 Tower cards in this reading, but it's okay. Oh, look at that. We got a nice partnership. And then we have the 3 of Cups here. Now, I don't want you to be too upset or wondering why a lot of things are in reverse. That just means like the lesson hasn't been learned yet. It could just be much harder to get over these situations. We need to be more aware of it. This is actually telling us what we need to be really focusing in on, right? So we're starting off again. I'm going to start and work my way back down into here and then explain things. This is how I do it when I'm holding it up. That's why I'm just explaining it here. Okay. And if you're new to this channel, you're like, what are you talking about? I used to not actually do it this way. I used to pick up the cards and hold it to the screen, like in the screen we were just in previously. So that's why I was just explaining. Okay, so the 2 of Pentacles is more of like we want to really balance. And it's so interesting because we have 2 2s being present in here and they're in the upright position. This is wanting that connection with your higher self, but it may not be, and this is why I'm saying your higher self, more of spirituality, more of an emotional connection as well, because we have that Scorpio card, like dealing with those emotions. We have Pentacles is where we're at, but our invitation is the Cups, right? 2 to 1, needing that support, but not feeling like you've been able to do it on your own. Wanting partnership, but this could be more of a spiritual partnership. This is why it's hard to make things very tangible, because you feel like you can't talk to other people because we have like something gossiping behind. This is our crowning card. This is a shadow card, which is interesting to me that we see actually the High Priestess kind of lurking back there, because she's number 2, and that's who I was kind of thinking about when we see the 2s being present into here. It is that partnership. It is that like the connection between the unconscious and the subconscious, between yourself and your deities, your spiritual side, wanting to strengthen that connection, wanting to also not feel very drained when you feel like you're out of balance. You're pouring things into one side of yourself, that another side starts lacking, right? So also with 3s, it also brings up, you know, mind, body, and soul. And since we have a lot of Cups like on this end that are being in reverse, this would be indication like on the Magician side here is the Cups is what we're missing. The Cups is the lack of resources, having that energy, being very creative, feeling from like you're doing this from the soul. You know, what is something that can make you very happy, very joyful, make you feel very successful? What needs to come down in order for you to see the success? What needs to come down in order for you to add more spirituality into your everyday life? You know, that is a practical routine, but it isn't grand. It is very small. It is something that you can like do on a steady basis. For some of you, this is also being able to leave an offering of water as to your deities and your spirit guides. For this full moon, maybe you want to actually harness that Virgo energy, that Virgo that's like, because Virgos are known as like the planner of the zodiac, they are a service to others. How can they do that? And how can you turn that inwards towards yourself? It's always about other people and what they need, what you can do for them, but what is it that you can do for yourself? Okay, we need to bring these sort of things into destruction. And like, and, you know, the Tower is in here twice, a double Tower reading, and both of these, now there is one more Tower in this deck, but it's actually a lot softer. But if you see into this, it's fiery, it's it's yes, finally, it's done, it's over with. And then we have this beautiful, it's hard to see the beauty in this destruction. It's kind of what I'm getting the vibe from this. It's hard to see the beauty in the destruction. You just see that it's coming to an end, and it's just kind of like, I get this feeling of like, all right, I just need a drink after all of this. Like, obviously drink responsibly, but I just kind of get the feeling of like, you know what, it's done, it's over with, let me just get some drinks, let me just, even if it's just water, it doesn't have to be something, you know, alcoholic or anything like that. It could just be, you know, like a cider or something as well. Like it doesn't have to be going out to drink or anything of that nature. This could just be you like having cucumber water, which I adore. It's nice and refreshing. But this is also connecting with the water, connecting with water energy. I think a water, and we'll be in Pisces season, so there's that influence of water being in there. Do we have any? We have Ace of Cups, which is kind of like Pisces energy. We have, you know, actually, Yeah, I mean, we have our water from Scorpio. I know Aquarius is not a water sign, but there is water in the star card. It's being able to pour from both sides. I just kind of get the feeling with when I'm seeing this all put together. We're going to bring in some oracles, so don't worry. We're going to bring in some oracles to get more clarification for sure. We need to find out what you exactly need to let go of, but when I'm looking at this, I feel like for some of you, God, it's like bringing an end to solitude. It's bringing an end of doing this on your own. It's wanting that, but like you're trying to force it to happen versus it just like happening naturally. And it's like forcing a relationship with someone who isn't meant for you, isn't actually going to help you. Like that needs to come to an end to begin and building again a better foundation with someone that is better for you. For some of you, this might even go as far as an end of working with certain deities to find someone better suited to you. If you have been questioning if your divine spiritual team is someone that you should be working with, or you're trying to decide between like 3 or 2 different deities to work on, what if both of them weren't an option? Who else would you want to work with? And for some of you, this is you working with your highest version of yourself. This is you having that conversation or writing a letter to your higher self. This is you writing something that is from your higher self to you in the present, things that you would want to know. It's at least doing that as a practice, as silly as it might sound to you. And you could be like, I'm not going to do, like, why, how would that even work? Just imagine it. Let that creativity really get through to you, because something that is like, it's a bit of being tangible because you're grabbing, you know, a pen and paper, or you're writing, you're typing online, you know, you're online, or like Google Docs, or like on a Word document, whatever it is, you know, you're having that moment of really like unleash that creativity. If a future version of yourself, or your higher self, your best self, the self that you dream about all the time, were to write to you or to speak to you, could you envision that? Could you imagine that conversation? What would be questions that you would ask your higher self, you know, that go beyond normal everyday things, you know, of like, you know, just like when people ask like, you know, relationship or finances, or it's just like, are you happy? Are you happy? What makes you happy? And then listen and read the answers to that, okay? Before we bring this out, let me take a quick peek, see if anyone else is missing. This is kind of just spot on, like the challenging part, because this is also something that might rock the foundation of your security that could be heading for you for this full moon. It's clearing it away, and it's like you need to go with that clearing. You need to go with it, okay? No matter how bad it may feel, and understand that these are forces outside of your control. Stop holding on to the blame that you're the one that caused this, when others and just the universe, like things that are working that you can't see, have caused things to happen. All you can control is how you react to it, and holding on to it is not helping you. We need to be more creative with this full moon. Virgo might be an earth sign, and, you know, earth signs are known to be very, you know, money oriented, prosperity, abundance, you know, nourishing and whatnot, but Virgo is very adaptable to these changes. Virgo can come in and make the switches and be like, it like wasn't a big deal. Boom, done. Was able to plan ahead, was able to foresee things, which is why it's really like nice and confident to be ruled over the Mercury, the planet Mercury, with that communication. So I think for some of you, it's like some of your plans you need to let go and focus in on something else. Something small, something that has small steps. Maybe something that you can do with someone that isn't feeling like, I want to say like the word like overbearing. Like doesn't feel like it's a stressor. Oh. Almost had a bunch of cards just fall. Okay, what do we need to surrender for this full moon? Okay. Alright, this was 3, this was 2. There we go. Okay, so number 1, surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and be surrounded by positive people. Now, I would like to emphasize with this isn't about someone who's coming to you sincerely and trying to be like, hey, you've been doing things that are harmful to yourself, like I want to help you, like, you know, it's not manipulative. This is not about like that type of relationship, but this is where we're seeing like the problem with being alone, feeling very alone, that it may have a pattern of you going back to certain people that you think are happy, think that are bringing you joy, you think that they're filling up your cup. But especially with that Magician in reverse, it's like someone telling you what your heart wants to hear, but they're not sincere about it. They're being a trickster. That 3 of Cups being present, someone within the group of 3 is not being sincere. They're being toxic, they're being unhealthy, and we need to bring that destruction into them. What's interesting though, while I'm seeing all of this, why I didn't think maybe a specific person at first, is because I didn't see a court card, so we don't know exactly about that specific person. It could be someone who has high Scorpio energy, high water energy in their placements. Keep that in mind. Nothing against Scorpio, I'm just saying because that's what's in here. It technically could also be Aries because we have these 2 in here that are Aries. With that Tower, that Mars energy in there, but just like keeping that in mind. I'm just saying that because we have a lot of water popping up into here. That was 3. This was 2. This was number 2. Surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. So I get this with 2 things, especially because this is right underneath unhealthy relationships. This is twofold. Now, one is, yes, this could be an unhealthy relationship with a version of yourself that needs to have death and destruction to it, like in a spiritual way, in a ego way, not a physical way, in an ego way. I want to be very clear. If you are the one who constantly needs to be right, you're constantly the one that is getting into arguments, and you know, if you are, that you have conversations with a lot of people that are leaving you, they're just like, you know what, I'd rather walk away, like I'm not dealing with you anymore. That is unhealthy for your relationships. But I also see this though, is that if someone's constantly trying to prove you wrong, and this like that you know we're talking about, like, you know, the trickster energy, the 3 of Cups in reverse, the gossiping and whatnot, they talk behind your back, and definitely makes me more a feeling of walking away from a situation. Like, yeah, you're right, cool, I'm gone. You know, you slowly start closing and cutting those connections. Perhaps a cord cutting ritual for you may also be something very practical, a ritual that you can really like do. That might help you, because we do have these 2 towers, which are can also be seen. I'm just gonna flip them up so you can see what I'm seeing. Could be a representation of the cord cutting between the 2 people. Like, these are the 2 candles, we have the string between them, and we're gonna cut those cords. So definitely keep that in mind. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up cord cutting. You can honestly look that up like on almost any social media platform. Like, I know people show videos of it on TikTok for sure. I think I've seen it on Instagram as well. And I'm sure you could just also Google it. But it is a ritual that is basically 2 candles and a cord in between. There's other things too. There's gonna be other things, but that's the essentially like the setup of it. And obviously be safe, because you are burning the candles and you're seeing the cord be severed between the 2. There's other things to do as well that you don't actually have to do that. You can do an energy one, which is more of a visualization of like cutting cords from you. But also remember, when you're cutting those cords, you want to cultivate something better. Oh my god, I thought, no, the cards are actually all that. I thought I moved the mat, so it was all crooked. Okay, anyways, on to the 3rd one. Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issues more quickly. So definitely, like, you need to get away from this drama of this situation. You have to get away from these towers. Let things crumble and break down, no matter how deep those friendships potentially were. And I say potentially with these friendships because it could have been very unhealthy, or this relationship with this other person is, or this relationship with an older version of yourself that you're ready to let go. I don't ever like pre-select pile number one. If anyone ever picks pile number one, there's a high chance that I have yet to pick the cards. I think I get as far, especially for full moons, I get as far as the surrender cards, and then I'm like, I don't know what I'm using after that. Right here. Prying eyes. Someone has their eyes on you. Somebody's watching, and it sits right underneath the unhealthy relationships, those gossiping cards. And I know the High Priestess is sitting underneath right here. This gives me those vibes, like with the High Priestess in reverse, that trickster and or magician in reverse, also like I said, known as a trickster. This gives me vibes of like, you know who I'm talking about, you know who it is. You have been not trusting your intuition about it though. Okay, so flying ointment, let loose, time to let things loose, let yourself fly. Cutting away those ties are gonna make you feel so much better. Then you have Cloak and Dagger, Deception. Okay, I want to see, so what this deck does is that I have to look it up, but they sometimes do combination cards. I want to see if these two in particularly are connected. It feels like they are. It would definitely feel like they are, because like Cloak and Deception, if someone watching you, someone's ready to like, I don't know, let's see, to the grave. It is prying eyes. Someone is taking notes of you and may be a source of competition or sabotage. This message is even more extreme when Cloak and Dagger, Prying Eyes, and To the Grave appear together. We don't have that one. We have Flying Ointment. Okay, so yeah. Someone is taking notes of you and a source of competition of sabotage. And this is someone you have a relationship with. This isn't someone, this is someone you might have had a deep relationship with that 9 being right into here. And Spirit's like, you need to let them go, please. This full moon in Virgo, if you do anything else, you release anything else, you will let this energy vampire go. I'm begging you, please. Let it be put to bed. So please listen. If anything else from this reading, take from that. And I know this is talking about a lot of people, but this can also be a reflection of, because this is a general reading, so, you know, like I said, I didn't see a court card in here. I know that doesn't necessarily mean it means that it's not a person. It could be a situation, you know, it doesn't mean also situation, but this could be a situation that has people looking on you. But although it seems very particular, this is a person who wants to sabotage you. I'm trying to think of the very last one to fill this full moon. We'll do this oracle, and then we'll end with a theropath. Okay. I mean, any cards want to come? There we go. Shadow. Remember, this magic circle, we're dealing with the divine shadow. The divine shadow popped up and it says wholeness, integration, repressed emotions. And then prudence, self-assurance, integrity, and clear-mindedness. Having a clear head. Maybe also just needing some time away from this particular person or situation will clear your mind. And because as well, when I'm looking at this, we have specters. Ooh, disconcernment, critical thinking, and insight. Ooh, those look so beautifully vibrant on this camera. That's really nice. Okay, so, excuse me. So much. Okay. So wholeness, integration, and shadow. You need to step away from the situation because you have to ask yourself what's keeping you tied down to this relationship. What is not working for you, and like why is it so hard for you to walk away, right? Pride, ego, parts of yourself you see in them. And remember, although this seems very much more focused on someone who's watching you, make sure you're not also watching somebody else this way and holding any ill will towards them, okay? You don't want to be giving that energy away. You don't want to be absorbing other people's energy. Focus in on you. Make yourself a priority, okay? And this one, 37. Oh, we have nothing but 3 3s. With the 3 over there. A little bit of the Empress energy. Anyways, we have a scale for balance as well. A little bit of that Libra energy coming in. Actually, because she's so blue, makes you think of like when they call the Queen of Swords, which is associated with Libra energy, makes you kind of feel like the Ice Queen with this card here. But it says self-assurance, integrity, and clear-mindedness. Like, it's integrity towards yourself. It's having a clear mind. It's being able to make these decisions from a logical standpoint, not from an emotional one. And that could have been very hard for you, especially if you're deep in your emotions, right? And then with spectators, yes. Why do I want to call it spectators? I don't know why I want to call it that. Discernment, critical thinking, and insight. This is that inner insight. This is being able to also understand when your thoughts are like flipping of like what is your inner mind versus just a thought, you know, like you can tell the difference. You can tell it. No matter how many times you feel like you're not getting it right, you know the difference between the two. Okay, so now let's do this reading with a Theropet. I didn't use it, I think, in the last reading. I used a different deck, and I'm like, I'm using this one again. Plus, I really think with this reading, with 2 towers, you need to have one. You need to have one of these cards, at the very least. Cute little animal to end your reading. And I have a nice message. This one I have to split the deck. They're too large to have anything flipped out. You are a whole person. You are complete. If that doesn't scream Hermit energy, if that doesn't scream this 9 of Pentacles, you are a whole person. You are complete. Don't need anyone else. You can focus in on yourself. Don't let other people trick you, manipulate you, thinking that you need them when you don't. They're absorbing your energy. Okay, so that was your reading. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading, pile number 1. Again, if you're really interested in that magic circle, if you want to join in, more information is in the description box, and you can just go to my Ko-fi right here. Okay, thank you so much for being here with me. And if I don't see you on that night, which like on Twitch, if you would like a reading, I'm doing some readings that same day earlier on. Be a very short stream. I'll be doing some magic circle readings that day. So it doesn't cost any money, just channel points, which means you have to watch the channel to gather points. That sort of stuff. Okay. Thank you again for being here with me, and I will see you when I see you. Bye. Hello there. Hi, pile number 2. So if you're here, you either like number 2, you like being in the middle, or you like that lantern, which is a very pretty lantern. So let me start shuffling though, so we can find out what it is that you need to know for this new full moon in Virgo. So it just came like off basically a new moon. Just did the ritual for the new moon in Aquarius. I mean, I just didn't do it. It was a few days ago, but it's still on my mind because we're still in the process of that cycle. But to keep up with my schedule, I need to record and put this video so it has enough time to reach whoever it needs to reach before that full moon in Virgo, okay? I know some people like to watch it the night of. That's totally cool. I think that's really nice. But I also know some people, you don't have time. You might want to prepare for it. Sometimes I do self-care. I'm not doing self-care for this one. I'll probably be pulling self-care cards on different social media. Either you'll see it here like as a YouTube short or on TikTok or something. So you can have some self-care ideas for there. So you can like set it up for the full moon. Alright, but I do have a little bit of a surprise until I'm trying to finish shuffling so that I can show you. we have this set up. I'm gonna get my mouse out of the way here. So this is set up. I will say some of the cards may get cut off on the top or the very bottom. I'm gonna try to keep them all in here, but this is like the best I can do with what I have. All right, so now you can see the chaos of the card flips happening like that. So the first one up as we have is the Nine of Wands, the Magician, and the Hermit card. And you know, we're working with the Hermit energy. There's another lantern in here for you, so no worries that it's in reverse. It could just be feeling very much not liking solitude, meaning me needing to get out of solitude, need to communicate and talk with others more. The nine, and you know, the Magician surrounded by two nines. The Magician is actually also related to Mercury energy, which rules over both Gemini and Virgo. So we're seeing that double Virgo vibe coming into here. So maybe you yourself have a lot of Virgo placements or connect with a lot of earth energy, that planner energy. Okay, you might be feeling very burnt out though right now, you know, not feeling very much connected, as above so below energy here with that Magician. Let's find out more. Yeah, I would say very burnt out, but things are coming to an end soon in the best of ways. You'll be grateful that things are ending. That was in the middle. We have another Magician. So in this deck, there's multiple cards, if you couldn't tell right here. It's okay. It makes it a little more chaotic, and I think it's kind of cool. This is what I mean. It was going to get cut off a little bit, but I have to fit it into here. Okay, so we have 9, we have a 10, but the 10 in swords in reverse is like finally those swords are falling out. We're getting over this. You're ready for it to be done and over with. You want creativity. What it might be challenging to you is this cup reaching into here. Now we will be in Pisces season, so this cup can represent that Pisces energy, that creativity, those dreams, wanting to manifest them, create them, you know. But what do you have to let go in order to cultivate this energy is what you need to ask yourself. Why do you feel so disconnected? Why don't you feel what you have is enough? It's this emotional connection that you have, an emotional connection with another person, since the Hermit is in reverse. You may also not be finding guidance in the right form, or like you're going with someone that is either traditional, it just isn't a mix for you. If you have like a mentor or a guide or like a strategy you're following, you need to revamp your strategy. It's too stagnant for you. It's not very good at communication. It's not also communicating very well what it is that you need right now. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to say the words. Okay, let me try to communicate very well, please and thank you. We have another Hermit card. Okay, oh shit. It's not a big deal that the cards are in reverse. I want to emphasize this. I know people are like, oh my god, these are all in reverse. It just makes things what's the word? It's not even like a little harder. It's just like the energy is blocked, and we need to take attention to this. Now, I will say with the Moon card being in reverse, it sometimes brings us more clarity than we would like, and needing to have like rituals underneath the moon. Now, the Moon card brings us Pisces energy, the High Priestess. So this might be something you're going through all of Pisces season. This may not just be locked in with just the full moon in Virgo. This is a lesson of trying to get better, not the right word I want to use. I want to say like progress, where you're making these changes, you're being more adaptable, you're not being stubborn anymore, you're finding a new mentor, you're being able to go and talk to people to communicate what it is that you want, that you're not feeling like you're forced. The High Priestess also represents these choices. Now, she is associated with the moon energy, so it kind of doubles in with this. The moons for Pisces season may be very significant to you, and this could also be a reflection that this is going to go on from the full moon in Virgo to the new moon in Pisces, okay? And our crowning card here is the Three of Wands. Kind of like we started with this wand energy, we're ending with this wand energy. But as we're seeing this, we started with 9 wands. We have so much going on that it's actually more of a relief when things start falling away and we start letting things go. And we're like, progress is actually saying no to more, to have less on your plate. Progress is being able to have those boundaries up. And also with this Three of Wands is because you can handle this. You can handle this, and we're actually, as we look into here, I'm going to put this up closer. The Three of Wands is, look how far they're looking for. They're looking across oceans. They're looking at other lands. They're looking at like what else they can do, other things that they can build from. from the successes we've had. Now, hold on, I'm trying to hold this. Another thing to really see here too is that we have 2 wands that are grounded in the foundation. The High Priestess, if you normally would see her in a different, like in a more of a traditional style drawing of the card, there would be 2 columns here. And then a veil behind her. She is one who's going to be connected to the subconscious, but because she's doing this for herself, she's prioritizing her own knowledge, she's prioritizing her own inner voice. She's not listening to the outside world in that way. She is confident. She sits there in the moment. This is having that confidence. This is, you know, also filling up your own cup and prioritizing that. This is that, you know, you might be feeling very challenging though, connecting to your subconscious. I'm also getting the vibe from this. This is someone who's very much in either doubts their psychic abilities, you doubt your intuition, you don't have a mentor to progress, or you're not reading the right books that click with you if you're trying to improve your psychic intuition, that you're not using the right tools. Because of the Ace of Cups being here, you may be more recommended to use elixirs, where we see the herbs and such from the Magician, and something that is charged under the moonlight, that you may want to learn and progress. Because when we think of the Hermit, we're also thinking of, like, I think he's always positioned like at the top of a mountain while he looks down, and he is a guide. He's waiting for people who want to be led. You have to want to do this. You have to want to change. You have to want to let go. You have to want to be happy. Okay? Even if I'm just seeing like this, because if we look at this Magician versus this one, besides the fact that they're different colors, this is more fluid. You see things blending and mixing within itself. This is that alchemy vibe, whereas it's everything on this card is it's more solidified, right? There is no blending. There's even only 1 dove in here versus 3, you know? So it's been a challenge, and it's like, this is the first step. We have to take things back. For this full moon in Virgo for you, this is not about reaching this end of completion. Like, some things will come to an end. We want it to come to an end. It'll be better for you if things come to an end. You have to see the light in that way. But this is then, if things aren't coming to an end by the forces, this is you putting it to an end, because you are more accomplished and feeling more of like you could do more with less. A little bit's going to take you a long way, basically, for this right here. Okay, so let's see what else. Let's see. Technically, we have 2 earth signs in here, but we don't have any pentacles. We have wands. Do we have any? And we only have 1 sword. That's not too bad. We have 1 sword, 2 wands, 1 cup. A lot of major arcana energy, which this gives us more of water vibes, earth vibes, and air vibes. We don't, no major arcana for fire. Very much so a high blend of earth and water energy, that absorption, absorbing information, taking time to read self-improvement books, spiritual books, different books on different forms of alchemy, magic, creating magic, communicating with the dead, that sort of things. I know that seems like, oh my gosh, like that feels like a jump, but for some of you, that's your advancement. Like, you're starting at 101 when it comes to psychic abilities. If you've ever been looking for a sign to deepen that, to start in divination, this is a sign to do so. This group here is a very spiritual, you might be a witch, you may be a pagan, you may deal or dabble in practicing magic. This would be more of stick with the elements of earth and water then to get you started. Okay, moving it over here. Also, moon magic. Moon magic. And no, that's not like a promo. You don't have to join my magic circle or anything like that. You may be more actually inclined to do more moon rituals for yourself, even if it's something small. Do not do anything large. Don't do anything overwhelming. Start small, okay? This is also another reason why the moon card in this position here is listening to because, okay, so whenever I see the moon card, for me personally, I always think of the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, because it's like the description of that moon is like how I also see other moon cards in the tarot. It's that untamed energy. It is being wild. It is being free. It's freeing yourself, okay? It's letting things be more adaptable and being able to, like, you know what, if this conclusion isn't working for me, I need to take a few steps back and reassess things. Some things that have been stressing me out, have been burning me out, we're putting those to an end. I don't want to be angry about this stuff anymore, that I cannot control it. I'm going to focus on things that I can control, okay? I do get the feeling, though, especially with that Hermit card, Hermit deals, and Virgo can deal a lot with, like, service to others and dealing with society. This can definitely be more of, there's things that's going on with society that you feel very stuck and stagnant with, that you feel like you cannot change. And it's like small steps. We have to do progress. We have to still, oh my God, words. We still have to deal with your self-improvement, with your shadow side, with connecting with your intuition, okay? However, I do know, because this is a general reading, that's the unfortunate part, is like, this is a general reading, it won't be too specific, and some things may not fit for you, so I'm trying to cover the basis and try to feel for everyone who'd be watching this reading, but I definitely get more of a spiritual vibe from all of this, is wanting to take your spirituality to the next level. Maybe you've gone through a lot of tough times, and you're trying to find a better mentor. But starting at the basics is going to be good for you. And also, when I see this with the full moon reading, Ace of Cups, any, like, putting out a cup, it's definitely like, put out just some water to a deity. You know, if you have a deity, you're working with spirit, you're talking to spirit, leave a cup of water out as an offering. Okay? Let's find out what you need to surrender. Full moons are really perfect for surrendering things, to see things grow smaller and smaller, to cultivate later on energy that is more suited for your needs. So what do you need to surrender? Need one more. Okay. This is 3, this is 2. Let's do 1 first. Okay, so surrender to complete healing. Open fully to loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. So we're talking about that spirituality. This is spiritual healing. This could just be a healing stage that you need to have right now. You have to be open and honest with yourself that you need to do this. If a certain way hasn't been working for you, this is when you're going to redo it. You're going to find a new pattern that's going to help you with that. A new pattern, I mean a new routine, a new strategy with it. You're going to think bigger than you have before, okay? And be more open to that. This could also be something, a message from an inspiration, if you will, from something on the web, something that you're reading, something that is like spoken for people that are just a different perspective than your own. Okay, then we have surrender to non-action. This could be a really great companion to healing and also to the Hermit. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. This is also very strong Hermit energy. Remember, the Hermit doesn't force people to follow him. He does not give out information that isn't asked for. This could be you. You have that Hermit energy. You want to help others, but they have to want the help, okay? So you can't force that on somebody else. And then we have surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. What's also interesting is that their eyes and such are covered in this card right here. So it's like some things just are, and this is why we have no action, because we don't want to rush into it. And this is also the vibe of working on yourself and prioritizing yourself and realizing that people are in different parts of their journey. It's not going to match yours, so do not compare yourself to those journeys either. This oracle now. And just remember, times are tough. And there's probably companionship to be found in that as well. Makes me think of that song from The Has Been Hotel, You're a Loser, Baby. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you want to listen to it. I think it can, like, give the vibes of, like, you're not alone. Don't worry. If you're feeling down on your luck, you know, you're not the only one. Oh, now it's gonna be stuck in my head as I'm doing the rest of this reading. Nope, it's way too many. Sometimes they don't like to come out and I have to try to force some cards to pop out of here. Oop, there we got one. Beautiful. I need one more. Okay, two more, that's fine. We can do tour. Okay, so cloak and dagger, deception. This could... Oh, sorry for that. Something hit something for my mic. We've got cloak and dagger, deception, right? So this also can obviously represent deception from another person. Well, that's why we saw the magician in reverse. Could be someone who isn't looking out for your best interest, and this is why you need to heal. You could also be healing from that form of deception. Okay, also get the vibe of like someone's trying to trick you into hurting somebody else, like, you know, with words, with communication and whatnot. This is why we have the surrender to non-action, because you don't know all the details. It's better not to act on it right away. Okay, and then we have deep being. This is such a beautiful card. Self-love and acceptance, Virgo energy, especially when I see the Hermit in reverse and you have it in here twice. This gives me, and you got 3 9s in here. You got 9, 9, and 9. Technically 1, 1, and 1 as well. So just keeping that in mind. Actually another 3 over here is another 3. So like there's 3 and 3. Interesting. Okay, anyways. With that Virgo energy, it's also about, because Virgo is like a sign, I've said this, I think I've already said this, it's like a service for others, right? What about turning that inwards towards yourself? You're so ready to heal other people, and that could be why you're using your spiritual gifts in that way. Wanting to learn any sort of type of spirituality to help heal others. But what about healing yourself first? Making yourself that, and loving and accepting yourself, okay? So there's that. Boundaries, we have got salt. This is boundaries. That's kind of a pretty, you know, self-explanatory. You need to put boundaries up, especially because we have the deception. I also get this could be boundaries, but with yourself as well. Like I said, don't compare yourself to other people. Put boundaries on yourself. Tell yourself no when you have to be, like, tough. It's tough love on yourself. And then we have feeding crows, transformation. I'm going to read this one, because this is still relatively a new deck. I want to see if it also compares with anything else. Yeah, so, okay. So this, if this card shows up, it could mean you're missing the lessons of your current circumstances. Take a moment to meditate on how your hardships are helping you grow. This is why we kind of saw a lot of these cards in reverse. These are hardships, but they're meant to be growing pains, which is why 3, because if you think of 3, think of the Empress, and she's typically always shown, most of the time shown pregnant, which it's like birthing a new idea. It doesn't mean like a actual physical birth, but it's birthing a new idea. And birth and labor is also a reference to growing pain, or not just growing pains, labor pains. Like out of the destruction, the pain, something beautiful can be born from it. Okay, so then let's pull this one up. still have it in my head. I'm like, I can't sing it. I'm on YouTube. I cannot sing it here. I know I'm not monetized when I'm doing this video, but still. That whole soundtrack is a catchy beat. Is blue your color? Because I know there's other colors in this deck, but we have advisory, which is hard work, diligence, and progress. Prudence, which is self-assurance, integrity, and clear-mindedness. And shadow, very interesting. Yeah, pile 1 had these 2 cards as well. They had a different one for this one. But shadow, we were talking about that for shadow, cloak and dagger, deception. This is wholeness, integration, repressed emotions, needing to have this moment with your emotions, and this would also contribute to the complete healing. That sometimes it's not, you don't need to act, you need to work on yourself, you know, which I know is an act within itself, but it's like sitting with yourself, meditating with yourself, right? We have prudence, which is interesting because we have the Queen of Swords kind of lurking behind here, and I attune Queen of Swords energy with Libra energy, and we have the scales, which is Libra's scales, right? So this is self-assurance, integrity, and clear-mindedness. That salt providing boundaries. You may need to clear your space, clear where you think, clear your meditation area, can help give you that sort of like I said, like clear mindedness. It's like, what am I trying to say? Well, I'm trying to like say or other words, but basically for the same thing. You know, you want to get rid of that mental fog, which apparently I'm starting to get for some reason. It's okay, we just have this, and then I'm going to do a therapet, and then we're done, so don't worry about that. And then advisory is working hard, diligence, and progress. So we see the progress, we see the work, and this is the work of your transformation, and this is also the work of boundaries. Setting up those boundaries, like I said, setting up with yourself, seeing where, you know, you're lacking on those boundaries and where they can be stronger, you know, where you're being too hard on yourself, your boundaries are too set up with that 9 of Wands over there, that you need to let it loose a little bit. So that's going to be some work that you're going to have to do, and it's really good to do on a full moon. As you think about it, you're taking your shadow side into the light and you're giving it at that moment, and you're going to be working on it. It's just not going to be something huge. It might, like I said, it might be all month for you. That Pisces energy, that could be the whole season of Pisces. Okay, so do keep that in mind. Let us get you a therapet, because I didn't use this in my last reading and I was really sad, so now we're going to use it. I like the other deck I was using, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I think everyone needs a little good message with this one. Okay, we gotta split the deck for this one because they are too large. Aww. You are enough today, tomorrow, and always. Beautiful. And this is cute, and the colors, gorgeous. You are enough today, tomorrow, and always. And it, right with this deep being of self-love and acceptance. Perfect. Beautiful. And your color is blue. I don't care about anything else. You have a blue hermit. This one's in blue. Blue cards here. Your color is blue. That's just a little added bonus, okay? So thank you so much for being here with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And again, if you're interested in learning more about the full moon in Virgo, the magic circle description, it's in the description box, all the information you need there. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. I hope you have a wonderful full moon experience, whatever you plan to do for the night. Bye. Hello there, pile number 3, or for those who picked this lantern, or you like number 3, okay? Maybe you like the one that's at the very end because it's the furthest away from the start. Who knows? Who knows why you picked it, okay? Let me start shuffling the deck so we can find out what it is that you need to know for this full moon in Virgo. Some very intense readings for these past 2 piles. I'm very curious and wondering what's going to show up for this reading. I do have a little bit of a surprise, unless you already saw it in the other 2 videos. I do know some people like to combined piles. You like to see both, or 2 out of the 3 at least. But let me see. Okay, we got this. Deck's ready to go. I need to switch cameras, actually. You might see it actually right here. We have it set up. Now, I mean, things are going to get cut off. The cards don't exactly fit perfectly going this way. It's what we're going to work with for at least right now. It might get cut off about like there if I have to push it up, but you know, you'll see what you need to see, okay? One more shuffle and then we're going to get started. There we go. This is the Big Daddy deck, so it takes a little bit longer for me to do so. Okay. Get myself in the right position as well. As you can see, I am trying, making sure everything looks okay. It's what we got to work with, so we'll just go with it for now. But let's find out what Spirit wants you to know about this full moon in Virgo. We have the Star appearing right away. We got some Aquarius vibes. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, some Jupiter vibes. A little bit of Sagittarius in there. Okay. And then we have the Moon card. Oh shit, this is what I'm so sorry. This is what I meant. Like, it might get cut off. I might still have to push them up. We have the Moon card. We have Major Arcana for your first row right here, okay? So we've got Pisces energy, some Jupiter energy, the planet of expansion, and then Aquarius energy. But the Star, Wheel of Fortune, and the Moon, feeling like the Wheel of Fortune's in a challenging position, although it is upright, but a challenging position. I'm gonna get you over here. We have the Four of Wands too, but we're gonna touch base on that when we get to the second row. This is in a challenging position. This is like controlling your fate. If you're into astrology, because we have stars as a guiding force, you may be wanting to get into astrology to take control of your fate. You may be feeling like what is fated for you versus what is you have more free will on, which, you know, you have free will for a lot of things. Sometimes you don't have free will, or if it's something outside of your control, like authority, society, that sort of thing, you know, you need to know the rules in order to break them, that type of energy as well. The Moon wants you to be more, like, what's the word? Untamed, wild. When I see the Moon card, and another deck did get the Moon card as well, which is fun to see for a full moon, right? But it makes me think of the Wild Unknown tarot deck, and that's because of the Wild Unknown. The description of the Wild Unknown goes with the Moon card, so it's like a very significant card in that whole deck. So, and it was one of the very first decks I really got into as well. So it's really close for meaning for me with that one. So I kind of have that attribution as well for the Moon card. This is about the wild side in you. As you can see with this, it's a wolf, it's animals, it's creatures, like a lobster. I was gonna say crab. No, the reason why it was a Scorpio or a Cancer, I either have switched it around. They say this represents Cancer or Scorpio in the Pisces card. I don't remember which one off the top of my head right now. But we also have all the fixed signs being present for this reading as well. Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus energy, all in the Wheel of Fortune, but they're in a position of learning. When we see this, they have books open in front of you. It may be very hard for you, especially if you're learning astrology or you're trying to learn a new skill overall. You're trying to learn something. That Aquarius energy is intelligence. It is being very not strict's not the right word, but it's being like disciplined. That's the word I would want. It's being very disciplined in your studies, because Aquarius is that fixed sign. This is stability. You may be having a lot of issues keeping things and keeping your good luck stable, okay? A lot of factors to you are very unknown right now. They don't have clarity, but it's like sometimes you know things and you don't know why you know them. Don't have that self-doubt with you. Then we have the Four of Wands, which brings us to the next row here, and that Four of Wands is a celebration. Some people could be celebrating birthdays this month, around this full moon, maybe Pisces, because, you know, Pisces season, obviously. But this is also celebrating, here. Okay. The Tower card. It's all right. It's all right. I was talking about Scorpio, why that was so significant to me, and like, why am I bringing up Scorpio? So the Tower is ruled or associated with Mars energy, and Mars rules over in traditional astrology, both Aries and Scorpio. Okay, so we're seeing some of that vibes coming into here. So a lot of things are changing. You may be feeling like your luck is changing. Like, it was all good times. Things are changing, and what position do you end up being in? When we see the Six of Pentacles, not only do we see the scales of balance, a little bit of Libra being brought into there, but we're dealing with that earth energy, that pentacle energy. What person are you in here? Are you, when we're talking about authority as well, like trying to take control of fates and such, this is a person who has some authority. They're able to give finances, give time, energy to others who really need it. Excuse me. Oh my God, my words. You really need it. Are you in a position to give support, to give help, to give time and energy to others? Or do you need it on the receiving end? We have the Lovers, another 6, a choice. We have the Hermit making an appearance. And remember, we're working with the Hermit energy for this magic circle, because Virgo actually is associated with the Hermit card. We have major arcana right down the middle here, so a very big reading. So we have major here, major here. We've got the Lovers card, which is that Gemini energy being right there. A lot of choices, okay? And then we have our crowning card, which is the Five of Pentacles. Now, this card right here, we got the World card lurking behind there, but we'll put that to the side. The Five of Pentacles. When I see this card, God, this card screams to me. How many more laps are you going to take before you make that first step in this house of warmth? Now, typically when we see this, it's supposed to represent like a church. Like, you go inside and it's warm because you're asking for help. You know, your pride and your ego keeps you out in the dark. Illustration wise, this would be like the only card that's covered in snow because it's cold and it's dreary outside. You're hurt, you're wounded, and who else are you hurting along the way? By your pride and ego, by not going and asking for help. For some of you, this is asking for a raise with your job. This is finding a new job that is a new passion, that where you're at is too cold, it's too, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you're at just in life, it's too stagnant. You've hit the maximum you can do on it. It's time for something new. It's time for something fresh and something better. But that destruction of that pattern of stability is very scary to you. And it feels like it goes outside the norm. But this is a tough decision. That Gemini energy, you're able to see things in two points of view. Like, you're able to see both sides of the situation. Now, another thing I'll do, which I think I have to do this for YouTube, another thing I will say though is Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by the planet Mercury, and Mercury is that planet of communication, connection, how you communicate, what you ask for and whatnot. So it gives me that vibes because we have the Hermit, we've got Virgo. Virgo, when I think of picking out the details, when it's in reverse like this, you're too focused in on those details, and this could be perfectionism. Could be perfectionism coming in there. You don't want to leave a situation unless it's for something absolutely perfect. And it's like, well, where can you make things perfect for you, like up to your standards, and where can you be more flexible, where you can let things go? Not everything's going to be perfect. It can just be you're able to do it for now, you're able to withstand it for now, but change is coming, and how are you going to react to that? Are you, when change happens, are you going to become the Hermit and like in the negative way of holding yourself up and you don't want to talk to anyone, versus coming out. And this is that fire starting, the Ace of Wands, the fire itself, energy, action. You're ready for this. And this is also like things you're unknown right now, but if you're asking for help either from spirit or asking from a mentor or asking from a power of authority that you want more, you're asking for more in life, this is that igniting that change, that passion within you, that you're willing to start fighting back for yourself. You're willing to pick yourself up. You're willing to be there for yourself. Okay? And I know the Tower card is not the friendliest of cards, but it's for your benefit. It is for your benefit. How you react to it is what power you really have for it. Okay, we're going to keep talking about this, but we are going to bring out some oracle cards. I also, this is just like a slight message in here for some of you out there. Your party habits may need to come to an end. Financial issues, if you're going out and partying too much, you realize you don't have the money to do so anymore. Not that you have to, it's not one or the other. Like, you don't have to hold yourself up at home, but maybe you need some nights in at home. Maybe that. You could also be feeling very burnt out with going out all the time. You need to have that time to yourself to reignite your own flame. Like, just don't go out because people are forcing you to going out. Tough love is boundaries with that Gemini, with that Lovers card as well. Also with that Lovers card, now sometimes the Lovers card, besides meaning a decision that you need to make, that you need to trust your intuition with this, otherwise ask for help to get other people's points of views before you sit down and you make this choice, and you don't base this off of someone else making the choice for you. Yeah, sometimes the Lovers card can actually mean love. Like, you might be wanting to meet a love match here. But as a challenging position, we don't want to see someone like hold something over you. Like in this, if you feel like the vibes aren't there, they're not catching, it's best to walk away. But for some of you out there, this is a love connection. Not saying someone from your past or anything like that. It's just because we also see that Ace of Wands, the ignite, the flame, like kind of just like you're interested in someone that you could have met at a party and whatnot. Okay, just wanted to put that little bit of 2 cents in there. All right, let's find out what you need to surrender though for this full moon. There's definitely a vibe because we have fire and earth energy here, and we have earth energy and fire energy over here, and it's like with the scales again brings us that balance. The moon kind of has that balance in here as well. And I know, like I said, some things just can't be brought always into balance, but it's just kind of like there's a fire between, or like an imbalance between where your energy is pointed and where your money is, and like one is being drained. Okay. Okay, we'll do this one at a time. The first one here we have is surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet, meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. This is definitely relating to like that Tower card, that Hermit card. You know, this is about that inner peace, okay? This is about that connection between mind, body, and soul type of thing, right? You and your spirituality, you and your higher self, is cultivating that peace. As we see, there's 3 here, there's 3 people here. You know, at first it was fun with 2 and whatnot. We've had some fun, but now we're seeing balances of 3. This is cultivating in that mind, body, and soul aspect, and having time for either meditation, focus on stillness. You know, you don't always have to act on things as well. You need to have that moment of meditation, and this is so we don't get stuck on this pattern. this pattern that you keep looping on. This is that death of destruction of that pattern that may become more visible to you. You're more aware of it on this night of the full moon. It's coming to light. It's being ignited within you. You're like, this is enough. I am done doing this. I'm willing and happy and waiting to make that change. But you need to have that inner moment with yourself to do so, okay? I think this was number 2. Surrender worry. Okay, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. Easier said than done for some of you out there. This also, though, relates very well to inner peace. This is having more faith in the universe, faith in Spirit, and faith in things that you cannot change versus being them presented with something that this is a different action you have to take in order to have this stop. This is something that is being handed to you. This could also be from a person who ignites this change within you. Like I said, someone who is tangible, someone you can communicate, someone that is part of your community, who gives you this choice, this option that you have to take it. You may be more guided of like, hey, nothing is permanent in this sense right here, and the being able to make the choice and then be like, it's not for me, but you gave it a try, but you're willing to try something else later. Obviously, it's a lot easier to say, hey, don't worry about it, don't worry, especially if you're an overthinker. You're like, I don't like the unknown, I want clarity, I want to know what's going to happen. You may not get all of that, but it's okay to take that plunge to change this, because this is not a cycle you want to be caught up in because of your pride of like, if you don't know what's happening, then you don't want to be a part of it. You have to cut that shit out. You've got to cut it out and just be like, I'm not going to worry about it today. I will deal with the things when they start happening, when the dominoes start falling. I will then start dealing with it at that point, okay? And then we have surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what you do. Take action and be confident that you've chosen the right path. So again, surrender worry in the sense of surrendering stuff to Spirit, surrendering to yourself. Know that you are in a better spot, that you're willing to change this because this is something you want to do. Oh, shit. As I accidentally knocked over the world card right here, like taking control of your world. The Hermit was lurking underneath that one. I just thought that was interesting. So like another Hermit card. But yeah, surrendering to trust in yourself that you're making the best decisions that you can with the information that is being provided to you. And it is okay that once you get more information, you get new information sent to you, you can change your mind, okay? You can change your mind. It's okay to change your mind on things. You're like, hey, I didn't know this information before. I didn't know I could do it this way. I didn't know I could change it around this way. I didn't know that was an option even. I'm wanting to do this because this is something new. This is something different. This is something that can really change your life. It just starts with this one act, this one form of inspiration. The invitation, a sacred test. Need at least 2 more. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Came right out of here. Okay, so we have initiation, a sacred test, and then crossing the veil, mourning, and then secret trail, ascension. Ooh, this is like this is not I wanted to say tough, like this is tough right here, but it's not tough in like what's about to happen in a way. So the initiation is a sacred test. This is Spirit sending you signs, and this could be hardship. When we might have been dealing with some hardship before, so it's with that Tower card in there. But it is a sacred test because it's about like, this is just gives me those vibes about the actions you use to take this pattern. I'm going to keep this in here because this is such a strong card right here. Crossing the veil is that mourning. Now this is obviously showing like a person here. It could be mourning a certain person that you might be splitting from in this scenario. These 3 being present into here. There was 2, now there's only 3 of you that is missing from this. You might want to light a candle for them if it's someone who has passed on as well. But with the initiation, this is a card that represents Spirit, the universe is testing you. They're willing to see, they want you to know that you're stronger than you think you are, that you can get through this, right? You might mourn though for who you used to be. You might mourn for the person you were before you started this, that is enlightened to you on this new moon or this full moon in Virgo, because of the change you're about to go into, right? And then because you have secret trail, which is ascension. This is going to the next level because you have faith and trust in yourself and your capabilities. And yeah, things are unknown to you, but that's okay. You trust the process. You even have a moon, I think, in the distance in this one. Now, I'm going to use the guidebook because I want to see. These two, I feel like, are connected. This book tells you about cards, if they're combined, what they mean. I'm always just curious because I feel like, yeah, your situation will lead to success. You will receive an amazing opportunity, or the opportunity you have inquired about is the right path for you. What's 37? Yeah, endings marking a passage, a bittersweet ending. A bittersweet ending, like an ending to this. I'm like, it's bittersweet that this side of you, this life, this chapter in your life is coming to an end, but it's definitely for the path that you need to be on, okay? Those cards are always spot on with the reading. I love them. So that also brings into light that this could be something that is offered to you, something that sparks this change. But it also can start with you asking for it. First one that comes out, as soon as we talked about the path of success, we have Meadow. Success, blessings, and positivity. This test is made just to make you stronger, to make it where you have blood moon, to make it where you can see, you can go push beyond the limits that you thought you've put on yourself. We have illusion, uncertainty, and narcissism. That's that moon card, obviously it's like blood moon and the moon right here. This could also be a mourning for someone that, because it was an illusion, it's being shown to you who they really are. And then we're just talking about that. We have beast, conflict, competition, and oppressors. You know, this would be that challenge that you're being tested to, is dealing with people who are pushing you down, trying to keep you down. They don't want you to light up. They want to keep you out in the cold. But instead of staying around this building, you decided to go a different route. You're like, okay, if this is what keeps happening here, I'm going to go try something else. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to be around other people who are going to be more supportive than this, you know? We're going to do this, and this initiates that change. This is a very strong full moon for you, because this is initiating that big change that you want to have, if you choose to do so. Remember, this is choice. This is where that freedom comes in. Like, are you going to stay at rock bottom, or are you going to claw your way to the top and do whatever it is that you need to do? Which means cutting out people, cutting out the person you used to be. You can mourn them, you can mourn those friendships, but this is the tough love, because this is something that Spirit's guiding you to do, okay? You're done with this situation. All right, what is something you need to hear from the therapist? We're ending the reading with this. You are not a burden. We are lucky to have you. You are not a burden. We are lucky to have you. And if anyone asks what your color is red. Well, red if you want to keep it simple. But you're a part of this, like, because it looks very red on the screen here. But it's very much like a magenta. Well, that's more magenta. This is like a light red, I guess. It just looks so much like stark red. I don't know if it's this monitor. Maybe on a different one, it'll actually look like this pinky red color. But that would be your color. It's very present in your reading here, in the cards, in that tower card. Fiery red-orange. And also, I would like to point out there is a sunset right here, or a sunrise, you can say as well, on this card, which can also be like a symbolization of like that fire, the fire of the tower. Like, you grow from those ashes. That's why Mars with that Scorpio energy in it, Scorpio is also known, I know you think scorpion, of course, but is also a sign of the phoenix, which, you know, rises from the ashes. Okay, so this is your little message. I think that's really sweet to end this reading on. And yeah, that's all I have for you for today. Let's go back here. Thank you so much for being with me today. If you're interested in joining in for the Magic Circle, please make sure to check out the description box. Go to my Ko-fi link right over here. It's also in the description box. You can also book a private reading with me there. And yeah, if I don't see you, that's absolutely fine. I hope you have a wonderful full moon experience no matter when you're seeing this. And yeah, I will catch up with you later.